What? This makes no sense. This is just not convenient for what I needed to do. It's so angry right now.
I came to rock. I came to move the crowd. I came to scream it out loud.
I'm testing out drawing live on the iPad. So this way, whenever I feel like I want to be a procrastinator about doing these drawing videos for you, I can just go ahead and do them. So, with this said, as you can see, I'm switching out my pencils. If you don't know, the software that I'm using on the iPad and with the Apple Pencil is Procreate. I think it's like one of the best drawing apps out there. It's like if you don't like Photoshop and you like very simplistic software that does the most functionality, then Procreate is the one for you. With that, I like to just use it just because it's fun to sketch. Also, I'm not good at digital, so this helps me when I'm teaching you guys how to do basic drawings, because I draw like I'm in middle school again on this thing, because I'm not used to it. So when I'm explaining how to do drawings or how to perform certain actions, you actually get to see me struggling with it, and if I can pull it off, that means you guys can pull it off. That is the beauty of my channel, Reese Fan Art. I am very much so realistic and very honest, and so with that, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me just, camera roll, bam. My homie right here, it's my dude. Alright. Pull it up, don't be so stressed. Alright, we're gonna draw the homie from Hero Academy, because he's my dude. So, real quick. Most of the time how they draw this, if you notice whenever you're watching an anime or something like that, all these characters have certain elements about them, and I'll highlight that real quick for you guys. So, if you look at my buddy's hair right here, right? It's a certain pose every time. There's certain high points and angles every single time they do something, right? So they repeat that throughout the turns. So this is like your front aspect right here. This is your side, and this is what you would call your back 3/4, right? And then this is also 3/4 front, and this is just a front facing mid close-up. So you can get a feel for what the character looks like. So when you guys are drawing this and you're trying to figure out how to draw your own characters, this is something that I would say reference to. Every artist will tell you to reference something, but for you guys that are still new and everybody's telling you reference, you're like, how do I even get to this point? This is what we're going to do real quick. So, real quick, this is the easiest way to do it. Always, above all things, start off with your circle. This all-powerful circle is the one thing you'll hear everybody say every time, every way, only because it legitly does what you need it to do every time. So for him, we're going to draw this one right here, his front face. So if you notice, his face is kind of more round, right? And kind of comes, it makes this little U shape. And then this will be his mid-point, and his eyes lie right here. Now his eyes are bigger than most, and his eyes are kind of angry. So, things that I'm doing right now, I'm doing these little tricks that my friends over the course of years, my different artist friends taught me. Is usually, say if you're drawing the face, right, and you draw you ever see these in anime, where the person's whatever, they have that kind of face, and you're like, that's no good at all. Believe it or not, you can actually turn that face into a real anime face. A real person just real quickly, just by adding obviously the details of the face. So you're like, Ray, that looks horrible, just bear with me for a second. Right? Really all it is just shading. And then putting in some elements that you're familiar with, like ears. And then probably rounding off some of these elements here. And then maybe adding in some crazy hair. And that little cheesy face that we just drew slowly starts becoming a real face. Right? See how his eyes are kind of going in, like he's angry? And he kind of has these half-eye loops right here. His eyes aren't really all the way connected, which is good to note. Right? He only has a small indication where his nose is. His mouth kind of is seamed over. He has these little freckles going on right in here, right? The reason I'm saying this out loud is so you guys know what I'm looking at as I'm drawing it. His ear kind of makes this weird C shape, and then he has a deviation over, and there's a shadow in here. And then on the other side is the same thing. He kind of draws up and over. So when you guys are drawing this, the reason I'm saying this out loud is that's what you should do when you're drawing. Like, see out the shapes, and it makes it less intimidating. Like, oh, that's like a C shape, right? Oh, he kind of has like this weird little triangle thing going on his ear right here. His eye kind of does wrap around just a little bit and kind of connects up this side, and his hair kind of comes in there, so we're not going to do that yet because that's going to be a whole different thing. His eyes are like these little ovals, these small little ovals, right? Cool. His neck is kind of like a C shape. Now this takes practice to notice, but most time when people draw necks, they draw them kind of like this. It's like a tube that goes out. The best way I like to think of it, it's like a woman's waist, right? Cool, right? That's the way I think about it. So if you were to erase that, and then if you were to put like a face over this, now you got someone's like head right there, already off the rip. Cool. But if you guys are new to drawing, just always think of it as like a U shape, or you can draw it straight down. But most time, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there is a slight curve. Once you guys start getting used to drawing more artwork and all that type of stuff, that's when you'll start to notice these things. For his shirt, this is the best way to draw it. Draw the shape. So it's kind of like little sharp points right here. Gets really sharp. It kind of has a curve, bends right here, goes down, up and over, right? Just follow those lines, because this is what I call volumetric kind of shaping, and when you do it, it kind of creates the form. So volumetric to me, or if you're going to do like a regular artist, it's the form of something. So the form kind of tells you about the whole picture before you even start drawing all your like other detail. And just like that, you kind of already got the feeling for what's going on. And if you want to add shadow, like when you just add like a little bit of shadow, that's when things start to come into life. So bam, there you go. He's halfway there already, right? So with his hair, and this is why I didn't do his hair just yet. His hair has two things you should notice, and this is why it may look confusing some. Actually, it has three things you might want to notice. It may look confusing some. His hair is actually just a lot of really sharp points, right? And then it's kind of curving up and over, kind of like the old Dragon Ball Z way. But the thing is, it's the shadows in there. So that's the outside little thing that is just right there. That's like his outside form of his hair. And then the inside has kind of more of a curve to it, right? So when they're shading it in, it looks like it's giving it depth, or it looks like it's giving it kind of this volume to it, right? Like there's extra stuff to it. So when you're drawing, that's the thing you gotta realize. They're getting the form, they're adding curve to the shadow, and then also the shadow has, like, the form of his hair is kind of rigid. So it makes it look like it's doing a whole bunch when it's really not. And that can be intimidating to people at first when you don't think of it that way, but when you start breaking it down in your head, and you're like, oh, it's actually, you can even think of it this way. You can actually think of, say, like if you look over here at his green hair, like right here. If you look, you can just say like, all right, that's his green side of his hair, and that's the dark green side of his hair, and then this is his skin, right? You can think of it that way if it's easier for you, or you can think of it as, all right, so this is his whole hair right here, all right, and this is his inner hair, and this is his like the inner hair just has its own shape. So just think of it as two different shapes in there, because technically it is two different shapes, and then when you do that, it'll make this so much easier. So let's go ahead and hook him up right now. Cool. So that's like a very quick version drawing of my dude right here. Why am I showing you this? It's just showing you like it all starts off the same. It's always a circle and then a build up and then everything else. This is how all artists do it. If you want to freehand it, you can just freehand it, and like a lot of people when they're first drawing off, they actually don't do the circle. They do this. So they draw the shapes, which you can, but it actually starts frustrating you after a while because you'll probably just draw the shape of what you see real quick, and it may turn out good, And then when you try to draw it later on in a different aspect, you'll notice that you will mess yourself up because you're like, what? I just drew it the other way really easily, and now I can't draw this one form. It's because in one of the pictures you're probably drawing like the outside aspect of what you saw, and in the other one you're drawing kind of like just a reference of it. Let's see if I can finish this up for you guys. Hey, what's up, heroes? So I just realized that my audio for this last little segment of this drawing on the iPad for some reason cut off. I'm not sure if it's because the iPad after a certain point can't store as much video file footage. So essentially what I was doing, I'll just tell you what I was doing. Essentially what I was doing, I was just roundaboutly drawing my dude from Hero Academy on a different layer. So I made the main layer opaque, put a little layer on top, and then I was going back over that and I was fixing up some of the things that I needed to fix. Went back through with the black pencil versus the blue pencil. I made sure that I shrunk his hair down to fit his head, and I was just kind of more or less giving it a little bit more life when I was drawing this version. Like I said, I don't know why the audio one went and disappeared, but it did, so that's that. With that though, that's the video. If you like this, I'll do more. I was testing out the iPad. As you can see, I'm still working on the kinks of it. Also, I don't really like the little small video up there, but we'll make it work. So if you have any suggestions, or if there's any certain characters you want me to draw, please let me know. I am going to release this series of like how to draw a character just in forms here soon. Actually, no. Let's drop that on Sunday. We're gonna drop it on Sunday, and then that way you can just start picking up and start drawing with me. But with that said, guys, keep like doing what you're doing. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just have fun with it. Don't overthink it, and just ball. Right? So with that said, stay true to yourself, love what you do, and above all, stay nerdy. I will see you guys next week. And as always, people, keep doing it for justice. Oh, and happy Friday.
Now I came to rock.